I thought I would come on and talk about my goals for the month and compare them to my June goals. I didn't do a YouTube video for June goals, however I did a video on TikTok, so I have wrote down what my goals were, whether I managed to do them or not. I thought we could go through them and then I could set my new goals for July, basically. So if you are new to my channel, hello, I am Shannon at Cook Creates. If you don't already, subscribe to my channel. If you do, thank you very much. But yeah, I just like to crochet, I like to knit, I like to craft. I just do loads of different crafts basically, and I'm trying to document me doing them. I'm trying to post whenever I like, but I am trying to stick to at least once a week. So there could be times where it's more than once a week, maybe missing a week, but yeah, we're trying to stick to the once a week schedule. But yeah, if you fancy staying around, please make sure to subscribe and let's get on with the actual video. I have also got the fan on, so if I suddenly start being wafted away, it's the fan. It's really hot. So I went back and rewatched my TikTok video of my goals and I wrote down every single one, so I will go through these and then let you know what I have done. So my first goal for June was for Bob to not destroy any more of my crochet hooks. I did actually, I think it's in here, I did actually sew myself a little tiny case for my crochet hooks because Bob the dog likes to steal crochet hooks and he likes to chew them, not enough to actually pull the end of the crochet hook off, but enough to cause damage to the hook. So they are still usable, but in fact, I lie, he's taken the bottom off that one. I've had enough of him stealing my hooks. I didn't stick to that goal because Bob did actually destroy a crochet hook, and in fact he destroyed it that night after I recorded that video. I was so annoyed at myself for leaving it out. It's my own fault because I leave them on the bed, I leave them on the desk, it can get to them. I need to not do that, hence the little pouch. I have got a feeling I did actually make this pouch after he stole it though, or before he stole it, whichever one it would be. So it was my own fault, but I'm sure it was this one that he actually destroyed after I recorded that video. This was a clover one that Adam treated me to because he destroyed my other clover one and I was like really upset about it, so Adam bought me this one and then he chewed it up. So yeah, it is still usable, so I'm not too mad about it, but if he could not destroy any more next month, that would be really great. But yeah, we didn't stick to that goal because Bob robbed it. Bob stole the crochet hook. The next goal was projects to finish. So I wanted to finish my Elmer jumper, which I haven't managed to do. I don't know why I've ticked it. I've like crossed and ticked any that I've stuck to. So I am currently working on the Elmer jumper by Off the Chain with Jack. That is who the pattern is by, and I have run into an issue which is making me not want to finish the project. So I followed the pattern. I'm doing a size large, which in fairness to myself, in the supermarkets I'm a size medium, always a size medium. I am between a size 10 and a 12. I always buy a size medium or a 10 or a 12. If I want it baggy, I'll buy a 12. If I want it more fitted, I'll buy a size 10. This t-shirt, for example, is a size medium. It is an oversized one, which naturally is oversized, but this is a size medium. I decided to do a large because I thought I really want this jumper to be really baggy, really nice fitting on me. Like, I don't want it to be clinging to me, especially with it being made out of acrylic yarn as well. I thought I want it to be baggy and really nice and baggy. So I did the swatch. I did the swatch for it. That was all good. Measured it, that fit. Now I followed the pattern exactly. I wish I wouldn't have done it as long because trying it on, this is way too long for me. But my dilemma is with the sleeves. So the pattern tells you to whip stitch the sleeves, which I did do on the top here. I did do the whip stitch on the top. Now the sleeves, I thought I don't want to whip stitch. I can't be bothered whip stitching. So I decided to just slip stitch the sleeves closed. Now in hindsight, I thought that will work exactly the same way. I don't know if it actually does or not, because when I tried this on, I'm not going to put it on now, but when I tried it on, it's number one, really small, like really small on me. And also the sleeve finishes, I've been using this arm to sort of demonstrate because I have got a Miffy tattoo here and the sleeve comes up to the bottom of the Miffy feet. So up to around here. Now you do add a cuff, but if I had a cuff, the cuff would have to be that big for it to fit me and for it to be actually to my wrist. I did want it a tiny bit longer as well, but the cuff would have to be, where's the feet, there's the feet, that big. Obviously my arm moves in different ways, so sometimes it'll look not as bad. Let's do it on that. that big is how big the cuff would have to be. I am not doing a wrist cuff that big. So yeah, I am going to undo the slip stitch that I've done for this sleeve. I'm going to do the whip stitch, see if that makes any difference. If not, I think I'm just going to cry, because I've put so much time and effort into doing this. I've spent months on this project. Even thinking about it makes me want to cry. But yeah, I've spent absolutely ages on this project, and I finished it, and I thought I've finished all like the crochet aspects of it, other than the ribbon and like the cuffs and the neckline and stuff. And I thought all I need to do is sew it together and sew the ends in, and it's done. I was so wrong. But yeah, I plan to finish this. It would have been finished if it would have gone right, if it wouldn't have had such dodgy sleeves. Even if you look at it like that though, I feel like the sleeves, like, I don't know, like looking at it like that, if it was on your armpit like that, it does look like it would fit, because the shoulder sort of fits. But we're gonna fix it, and we are gonna finish it. But that's gonna be a July one. Anyways, moving on. Next finished items that I wanted to finish were my hexie cardigans. I will insert a picture of the one I made for my mum here, and I will go and grab mine in a second. So I've managed to finish my mum's that I was working on, and I managed to finish mine. I did my mum's as a YouTube video, which I will link in the description if anyone wants to go and watch the process of making that. And I did mine as, I did both my mum's and mine as like a thingy part series on TikTok. I can't remember how many parts they were. I don't think it was really long, because I knew I was recording like the YouTube video for my mum's, and then for mine it was pretty straightforward, like I just update as and when I could be bothered. So yeah, managed to finish 2 hex cardigans. Again, I'd been working on them for months or weeks prior, but they both got finished at the start of June. So that was that. But this is the hex cardigan that I made myself. I did insert a picture, I will insert a picture when I edit this video, but this is the one that I made myself. I don't think I've got any pictures of this one. I need to take some pictures of myself in it, but it was just this pink and white sort of ombre cardigan. The yarn is from Wool Warehouse, it's the Yarn Smith range. I think the white is the Create DK, and the pink is this really gorgeous Play Baby DK, and I got way too much. I'm gonna knit myself a vest, like a sweater vest in that. I need to get my other projects finished first though. And then the buttons are from a small business called The Magpie's Eye, which I found on Etsy, but she does actually have her own website as well. But yeah, I love them, just like pink sparkly buttons. Absolutely love those. My next goal was to start a Christmas present, so I started this for my sister. It is going to be a cardigan, and I'm doing a YouTube video for it on here, like a full rundown of me making it, doing updates on it and stuff. And then I'm also doing a little sort of mini part series on TikTok of me doing it as well. But this is how much I've done so far. I started it, I want to say like mid-month. It wasn't right at the start of June that I started it, but yeah, I feel like I'm doing quite good with it. What's happening? Are you coming sitting on mummy's knee? Come on then, we've got a little friend for the rest of the video. So cute. My next goal, which I didn't actually end up doing, was to start knitting socks. I'd put a video out on my Instagram, I want to say. No, it was on TikTok, and it was asking for advice about knitting socks, like how do you knit socks, all the basics basically of knitting socks. And I got some really great advice, and then I did actually go and buy a pattern book that I really wanted. It was Knitted Moomin Socks, I think it was called. I decided to go and buy that just from Abercarn, and I bought some yarn, but I've just not got around to actually casting them on yet. I need to get some hooks, some needles, that's what they're called, not hooks because it's going to be knitted. I need to get some needles, don't we? Yeah, we need to buy some knitting needles that are small enough for socks. So that is my next plan, because I bought the book, I bought the yarn, I just didn't buy the needles, which is what I need basically. I don't think I bought enough yarn, but I think I am going to go back to Abercarn at some point soon, and I'll probably just buy some more, and then eventually just sort of get my stash up of yarn sock, sock yarn, that's what it's called, not yarn sock. Because at the minute I've got a lot of DK, I've got a lot of chunky weight yarn. I don't have any sort of 4-ply yarn or sort of sock yarn, so that is my plan, to start my collection of sock yarn, and then I can start making funky socks and like different like colour work socks as well. Then I also wanted to start posting more on here. I wanted to post weekly on here, and I did also want to start posting at least once a day on my TikTok, which I have stuck to. Even on some days where I just can't be bothered at all, I've still like had a video saved in my drafts. So I've been posting at least once a day. I've aimed for 3 times a day, but 9 times out of 10 I have posted 3 times a day actually. I've done very good on my TikTok. Not really on Instagram. I think my goal for July is to grow my Instagram a bit more and to sort of be a bit more on there. I want to start taking advantage of my stories on Instagram, because I think that is where like most people will see my content on my stories. So I might start doing like talking videos on there. But I think in terms of TikTok I'm doing quite well, and I'm also have been posting weekly on here. I say that I've done I think 2 videos in the past 2 weeks, but it's still a start. So I'm happy with that. Put myself on a fabric buying ban at the start of June. Did not stick to it, but it will be carrying through to July. I have done quite good, to be fair. I have done well to not buy any in the last few weeks. It was just at like the start of June that I broke that ban. But I think I've realised in my head now that I've just got too much crafting stuff. I'm trying not to buy as much stuff, and definitely don't need any fabric. There is no reason for me to buy fabric. I'm not doing any sort of sewing gifts for Christmas, I don't think. And even if I did, I've got that much fabric. There'll be something in the stash for somebody. Then just a couple more that I didn't do. So I upcycled some chairs for a project at work. I will insert a picture of at least one of the chairs that I did here, but there was 3 chairs in total when I started the project, and they only needed 2 for the project that I was doing. So I took the 2, and then they was like, oh, we've got a spare one, do you want to take it with you and just have it for home? And I was like, oh, okay, I will take that chair, and I will upcycle that chair too. It's still in the front room, still not upcycled. So that is my job for July. I am going to get it done during July at some point. Hopefully at the start of the month, and then it can be done and out the way. I think it's going to be a craft room chair when it's finished. It isn't the most sturdiest chair. My mum did try and sit on it yesterday, and we did think she was going to fall through it. So I think it's going to be more of a sort of display chair, but I think it will look quite cool in the craft room once the craft room's all organised and sorted out. Also on the same sort of theme, we've got a cabinet in the dining room where I keep all of my craft stuff at the minute, and it's where I keep most of my like bulky fabrics. I use the top of it for like cutting things and like storing my sewing machine on and stuff. And it did used to actually live in the kitchen, this cabinet. It used to be the pan cabinet, so it's quite a good cabinet. But I wanted to upcycle it. I wanted to paint it with the same paint that I used on the chairs, and then I also wanted to get some chalkboard paint and spray the side of it, so then I could write my measurements on the side of the thing. So when I'm sewing, I don't need to constantly be like, what was my measurement, looking through my notes app trying to find things. Anything like that I can just write on this chalkboard board that is part of the cabinet. And then obviously I'll use the top bit for cutting and whatever. But I do need to research how I can varnish the paint once I've done it, because when I did the chairs, it's chalk paint that I used for it, and it is really good paint. I really liked it. But the dilemma I had was that it was coming off and it chips quite easily. So I think I do need to find some sort of way to varnish the cupboard, especially if I'm using it for like the cutting mat and stuff on the top. I don't want it to keep like chipping and coming apart, if that makes sense. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas, please leave them in the comments of what I can do, because I don't know yet, but I will research it. And that is also a job for July as well. So the last goal for June was to do Adam's Spider-Man costume. Let me just double check it is the last one. Yes, it is. The last one was to finish Adam's Spider-Man costume. Now, we didn't end up finishing the Spider-Man costume because I thought he needed it for the end of June. We've just been to a Comic-Con. He actually wants it for another Comic-Con that's happening in July, and he wants it for when the film comes out as well, the new Spider-Man film. So he's not really been in a mad rush to do it. All he's got left is to puff paint the sleeves, the gloves, even the gloves, one of the boots, because he's already done one boot, and then we also need to do the mask as well together. I think I popped a few stitches on the gloves, so I just need to go back in and redo that. I have done the Spider-Man as a series on TikTok, so if you want to go over to my TikTok and watch that, please feel free. I'll put my @ here, but that is definitely going to get done in July, because like I said, he wants to go to a Comic-Con wearing that costume, and also he wants it for the film. I'm not sure when the film comes out, but he'll want it for before the film anyway. I'm sure he will. So yeah, that is my goals for... No, it's not. That's what I did in June, or what I didn't do in June. Now let's get on to my goals for July. Okay, so as I mentioned, I want to finish my Elmer jumper. It's my mission to finish my Elmer jumper. I also want to finish the cardigan I've been making for my sister, which again I mentioned. I have also been making myself a cardigan. Let me grab it. So I've been working on this cardigan for a while, to be fair. This is like my first proper knitted project, and I've been stuck on Sleeve Island. I've been stuck on Sleeve Island for months. I just lost all motivation to do it, and then doing my sister's cardigan has motivated me to try and finish this one. So the last few weeks I have been really like working on the sleeve and just trying to get the sleeve done. It isn't perfect, and we're still not really close to the end, and I have still got another sleeve to do after I've done this one, but I am nearly there with this, so I do want to try and get that finished in July. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to finish that, because like I said, I've been working on this project for a while, and I do want to get it finished, but there's other projects I want to get finished more than this one, so that one could just be a background project. But if I do get it finished, that will be really great. I also found this blanket, which I didn't write down on my list, but I did actually find this blanket the other day in one of these baskets that I have in the bedroom, and it had loads of stuff on top of it, and I completely forgot about it. So I don't know if I started making this for myself or if I started making it for a Christmas gift for somebody, but I am going to aim to get this finished. It only really needs a few rounds left, and I was using brown yarn that I have since decluttered some of it. I've been selling some of my yarn on Vinted, so all that I've got left of these colours now is I've got a little tiny bit of the mustard colour left, I've got quite a bit of this light colour one, and then I've got this sort of like proper yellow one. So I don't have any of this sort of multicolour brown left, and I don't have any of this brown left either. So I think when I get to the end of these balls of yarn, it will be finished. And I think I might put this in the front room. I can't remember if I started making it as a gift for somebody, but I think I'm going to finish it and just leave it in the front room on the couch, just as like a cozy granny square blanket. So I do want to try and get that finished by the end of July. That is one of my main goals. And then I think, was that it? Oh, I started a poncho, but I'm not 100% sure where I put it, because I'm sure it was in the same bag as this Elmer jumper, but I can't seem to find it. I will attempt to find it, but I'm basically making it in JC Brett 100% cotton yarn in pink, and then I've got some of the Rico Make It Bloom shun as well, which I'm holding against it, and I am trying to do it in that. Basically I've been working on that for a few weeks as well, but that's sort of like a mini project that I just pick up and put down when I can't remember doing any of my bigger projects. But I do want to try and get that finished, because I do want it for summer this year really, and we have just had the heat wave as well, so I feel like it would have been quite good for then, but whatever, it's fine. I want to start another Christmas gift. I really want to start another Christmas gift. I am hoping to finish Molly's cardigans. As soon as Molly's cardigan's finished, I'm going to start another one. Everyone's getting scarves for Christmas this year, I think. I've already made one scarf. I've just got some more to make. So I think I have already started, technically, the chain for the scarf. But again, I don't know where I've put it. It's probably in this jug bag with all the Elmer stuff. I don't know yet. So that is my goal, to start another Christmas gift for July. And you might be thinking, Shannon, why are you starting Christmas gifts so early? I'm technically not. Last year, I waited way too long to start Christmas gifts. I don't think anyone even got a Christmas gift last year off us, because I plan on making them like I do every year, and I just didn't have the motivation to make any Christmas presents last year. So no one ended up getting anything. This year is different. This year I'm starting Christmas presents a lot earlier, and I'm hoping to have them finished by, I want to say October, maybe November at the push, because I want to do some more Christmassy things this year. We didn't end up going to Blackpool Illuminations last year, and Blackpool Illuminations is one of my favourite places to go to, and I don't know why we didn't end up going. I think we just sort of not ran out of time to go, but I think we just didn't have like the motivation to go in a way, and we was just sort of putting it off, and then it had finished and it was just like, oh, how annoying, we missed it. So I think this year I want to do like the Christmas markets. I want to go to the Illuminations. I want to do more Christmassy stuff around Christmas time, and I think if I can finish all my Christmas presents and I've not got anything to stress about, I'll be fine. It'll all be good. We'll be good to go. So yeah, that is my plans for July. I think, is that everything project wise? Oh, I want to start Adam's Christmas gift, because I'm doing something quite big for Adam. Everyone is getting scarves other than my sister and Adam. Potentially my mum. I might make my mum a blanket, but I don't know yet. But Adam's gonna get a jumper, so I want to start Adam's jumper ASAP, basically. He has already seen the jumper, so I don't know why I'm like trying to keep it a surprise for him. He has seen the jumper because I wanted to make sure that he'd wear it before I made it him. So that's that. And then finished Spider-Man costume, but we've obviously already said that. And then just a couple more another goals that I've got here is just continue to post and keep growing on here and TikTok, and then obviously on Instagram. Like I said before, I really want to really want to grow my Instagram. Basically, I feel like Instagram just feels a bit more personal than TikTok. I think the way that I do my TikTok videos, I do a lot of days in the lives, I do a lot of like long form content over there, but sort of chatty content. So I feel like people who follow me over there do know me quite well, and I do have that sort of like chat with people. But I just feel like posting on Instagram stories is just a lot more personal. And I don't know, when I used to run my small business, and I used to exclusively be on Instagram for the longest time, and then I started doing TikTok. I used to love it. I used to do stories every single day and have people like replying to my stories, coming into my DMs, like replying to stories and stuff, and I used to really like it. So I just kind of want to get that back again. I mean, obviously this time around I'm not selling anything. I've not got a small business anymore, or at least I don't post on my small business anymore, so I've not really got that sort of like selling thing to do. So I just sort of want to build a nice community of people up. But yeah, that is my plan, just to keep growing and to keep working on stuff. I don't really want to put like numbers in because I feel like I get caught up on the numbers, and I'm not that bothered about a following number because I would rather build a community of people rather than be like, oh, I want 20,000 followers, I want 15,000 followers by the end of the year. I don't want to be like that. I'd rather have the community than the followers. So yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. And then the final thing that I've wrote down on here is to finish sorting out the front room. So we're basically swapping the craft stuff from being in the dining room to being in the front room. I've still got all my sewing machine and my Cricut machine and all of my big things in the dining room. I just wanted to get all of my like crafty bits in the front room, so it was all together. I don't want any crafty stuff in the bedroom because I do crochet and knit in the bedroom. I do like, I'll sit in bed and watch telly and be knitting and crocheting, which I do love, but I don't want to store any of my craft stuff in here. I want it all to be separate. I want it to be out of my space. So we're currently working on the front room. I've just got some new bits for the front room, and yeah, I just want to make it all nice and cozy in there, and so I can sit in the front room as well and crochet and not be just like, oh, I need to go and get into bed and crochet. I want to be able to have that space downstairs that I can just be like, right, I'm gonna go and sit on the couch and watch telly for an hour while I do this knitted cardigan or something. So I'll let you know how I get on with that. So yeah, I'll do another video at the end of July with my July goals and how I got on with them, and then also my August goals. And yeah, let's see how many projects we can finish this month. I feel like June was quite a good month for me. June was a very finishing month, and June was very much like trying to get stuff finished and getting stuff to the point where it could be finished. I do stand by the fact that the Alma jumper would be finished if it didn't go wrong. I feel like I lost a lot of motivation after I sewed up that arm and it went wrong. But I think July, I know I'm gonna get that blanket finished. I know I'm gonna get the blanket finished. I want to get the Adam's Christmas present on. I want to finish Molly's cardigan. I need to, what else did I say I was going to finish? I don't even know. I can't even remember. Have I even got a big crochet project on at the minute? I don't think I do. Maybe I should cast on another crochet project, because I don't think, looking round, I don't think I've got anything crochet wise to cast on, or that I'm working on other than my Elma jumper. Don't know. Anyways, I shall leave it at that. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I shall leave all of my socials here. I'll put a little box with them all in. Make sure to go follow me over there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.